Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Fido Live number 108. Um, what can I say? I'm starting to get into a rhythm here. You know how every Friday they're in the bar? And I think what I'm going to try to do now is have Saturday hint as to where the storyline's going the next week. So here's Saturday of last week where Felicia announces I'm running away from home, and they all jump for joy, carry her outside, and toss her out the door with her litter box. I didn't need your help. So, what the hell? We'll run with this storyline. Felicia has run away from home. Here is the Monday strip. The cat's downstairs. We are concerned about the living conditions up here that made your cat run away. An investigation is underway. Until then, here is your replacement cat. We don't need a cat, we have a dog. And the new cat here, I'm so happy to be here. You don't know what it's like downstairs. Yeah, whatever. Here's your closet. I get this whole place to myself? No, you share it with a dog. Fix that. Look how tiny the characters are. Never draw your characters that small. Oh well, the chief colorist has to deal with that. More on the chief colorist later. Okay, here is Tuesday. We'll continue in the storyline. We have a new cat. Where is it? Meow. Comes from the closet door. He opens the closet, and there is Closet Cat. Oh, by the way, we should point out that Fido is written on the door, Closet Cat, keep door closed. But, well, you'll see that in the next strip. A cat should be heard and not seen. Now here's the Wednesday strip, and you actually get to see the Closet Cat that he's sign that he's put on the door, and he's scribbled, keep door closed. So anyway, the Closet Cat peeks its head out, looks around. What are you doing? Just a little vacation, you know, fresh air, see how the others live. Vacation time over. Closes them back up. I should have brought a camera. Okay, Thursday. All good things come to an end. Felicia returns. I'm back. We've already replaced you. With what? And they show her Closet Cat sitting in his litter box in the closet. I'll take care of this. And the sign says $10, but then they put a sign free to a good home and cross out good. So it's basically now just free to a home. Think this will work with Dino? I see you've got to be an insider on the strip and know that Fido wants to get rid of Dino. Alright, here is the Friday strip. And now they're usually in a bar. Well, they get there eventually. We open up with the crazy cat lady downstairs, who seems to have completely forgotten that this cat came from her stable of kittens. And the cat's sitting outside in the little box with the sign saying free to a good home. Oh, look at that poor kitty. That's so sad. And finally they're in the bar. It's terrible how people are. Fido comes up. You're in my seat, Dino. Move it. Never trust anybody who isn't kind to animals, as Felicia throws her cream into Dino's face and Fido laughs at it. Have you met these two? Once again, I was saying, never draw your characters that small. Gonna need a really fine brush to get any of that done. Alright, and here is Saturday. And now hopefully Saturday will try to lead us into what the writing is for next week. Don't think I'm going to be able to pull that off. But here we go. We have Felicia and Fido and the Closet Cat still outside. Haven't found a new home yet, huh? I think the problem is my name. Can I have a better name than Closet Cat? Sure, Mr. Stinky. How about Mr. Tum-Tums? Dingleberry Skidmark. You know, Closet Cat has a certain ring to it. Dingleberry Skidmark. Yeah. Okay. So, we can either ink the Friday and Saturdays today or do something more fun. And I've decided we're going to do something more fun. You see, I've been to the art supply store, and of course I've gotten new materials that we'll still use some of the older paper. I think I got 2 sheets. Yep, I got 2 sheets there. But, where is it? Oh, it must be behind me. Yes, there it is. I had to get a new sketchbook. And here it is. 120 pages. not bad. Now, let me show you an example of the older sketchbooks. Thinner, got more of a textured cover, and it's falling apart. The old sketchbooks were made in China. This one's made in Vietnam. There's a change in the world economy, and Vietnam is starting to make a lot of the stuff that China used to make. And they're doing it because, well, the labor is cheaper, and hey, I think the workmanship is better. What can I say? But actually, it's kind of fortuitous that I brought this book out. I'm looking in the pages, and there's actually an original comics calibrator back before the day, and actually an even older one, which I just, if you just look at the edge here, that's just to help me do the lettering. That's a lettering guide. But let's see. Let's compare the new built-in comics calibrator with the old one. We can see how it has evolved over the years. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. Anybody at home, you can figure that out while I'm talking. So yeah, look, the new comics calibrator has the slantering, the lettering. Still the same 4 9/16 by 5 13/16. Yeah, I don't even have a date on this. I started dating them here, but same lettering, same. No, actually, so the lettering guide is different. Guess I changed my lettering. So has anyone at home figured this out yet? See, it's a tuna can and an eye and a leaf with dew on it and a sheep and an envelope and a bee and a dog's ass and a question mark. Can I do you from be kind? Yeah. That is my old sketchbook. Oh, let's put the I want to put the comics calibrator back in there. It's good to save it. What the hell? It was kind of fun seeing the old sketchbooks. Oh, this is not sketchbooks. This is where I used to do all my writing, and I found that there's actually this is the series where I wrote my Christmas special from. We're going to do a Fido Christmas special animated piece someday, where Mrs. Abraham downstairs has decided that there are no more. No dogs allowed in the building. So Fido has to disguise himself as a cat, and Dino tries to turn him in, and then you're not on the lease, young man. So Dino has to disguise himself as a cat, and then Felicia comes up to give them cat lessons. Yeah, all that becomes a Christmas special somehow. All right, let's do a new one. Oh, I'm just gonna show you how to use the comics calibrator again. This helps me lay out a strip really quickly in less than a minute, where in the old days I'd have to use a ruler and a T-square. It'd take me all this time. But this makes it so quick and easy. See, my strip is 4 9/16 wide by 5 13/16 high. I won't bore you with how I got that that size. But let's lay out a comic strip real quickly here. And we'll go back to the Vietnamese sketchbook and show you what strip we're drawing today. This ought to be a lot of fun. The only problem is it's going to be done in the Dixon Ticonderoga pencil, and it's nearly impossible for you to see it on the camera. I'm going to turn this light on up top and zoom in closely with Irving camera 1, and I think you poor people on the membership camera, the backup camera, are not going to be able to see anything. Alright. Now let's see how quickly you can lay out a comic strip. All the panels are ruled and perfect and ready. Let's go back to the Vietnamese sketchbook and we'll show you what we're going to draw today. It's Laundry Mark II. I was looking in the old sketchbook, and a joke I did a long time ago was Bo takes the laundry out of the washing machine or the dryer, He irons it, passes it on to Dino, who like ruffles it up and throws it on the floor, and then it goes to Fido on the floor, who sleeps on the warm pile of clothing. But now I've got a cat, so I'm going to rip off my old joke. The first panel, Bo takes the clothes out of the dryer and he irons them. Second panel, Dino crumples them on the ball and throws them on a table. Third panel, Felicia pushes the clothes off the table, because of course that's what cats do, they push things off tables. And then Fido's sleeping in the pile of clothes on the floor. So, pretty simple, laundry day we call it. And that's what we're going to be doing here today. Now, as you all know, cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of this planet. And I've washed my hands 3 or 4 times already before this show, just so you don't have to look at how dirty my hands were a few minutes ago. And I have no idea how they get so dirty. It really is a mystery to me. But someday, I'll figure out what's causing all this soot to develop on my hands. Maybe the world will never know. All right. I should put down a piece of paper to keep the field clean. And of course, I could just use a blank piece of paper, but where's the inspiration in that, huh? So Kathy Lee Gifford, 70 years old. She broke her hip, fell, and broke her hip again. She's stealing this bit from the chief colorist. The chief colorist had her replaced hip replaced, and then fell and broke the replaced hip and the other leg as well. That's why the chief colorist has been away for, 4 months now? And the chief colorist's favorite crew here, Red Letter Media, have decided to again beat up on our good friends Chris Gore at Film Threat doing funeral for a franchise with Star Wars. I didn't see this, nor did I see it when they did the courtroom thing, People versus Disney, Star Wars, whatever. I understand they were funny, but it's just not my thing. But I'm getting kind of tired of Red Letter Media trying to put themselves above the toxic fans. You assholes started your career by criticizing stuff like this. It's time for the celebration. Hooray! The Battle of the Sexes has been won, and I'll tell you who won it a few minutes ago. Now, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, back when I was a wee little kid of 4 or 5 years old, Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs did the Battle of the Sexes. I think it was on ABC Sports, where Bobby Riggs asserted that men were superior to women, and Billie Jean King tried to prove that was erroneous. We're losing the entire joke behind here that Billie Jean King was a lesbian and Bobby Riggs was just a dick. Anyway, it was inconclusive who won the Battle of the Sexes until the Olympics, when Algerian boxer Mane Khelif defeated Luca Armoni of Hungary in a 46-second fight. The Algerian boxer, Ms. Khelif here, has been tested positive for the Y chromosome. Now, I had no idea that we were able to test for XY chromosomes in people. I think this solves a lot of problems. But to get beyond the point, the trainees have solved the battle of the sexes, and men have won. Hooray, men! Go, go, men! Yes, men can beat up women. Yes. The battle of the sexes is over. It took 40 years for us to figure this out. Speaking of 40 years, you're going to need about that much time to watch Rebel Moon, the new Zack Snyder version. I don't recommend you waste your time. Well, where would a day be without beating up on Disney? And Fantastic Four, starring Pedro Pascal, has its title, First Steps. And we've already criticized what's going to be this masterpiece, First Steps, and they decided upon a female Silver Surfer who looks like that and not like that. Big mistake. So one of the main villains of a Fantastic Four universe is now going to be the villain of the Avengers universe. We have Mr. Robert Downey Jr., formerly playing Iron Man, is going to play Doctor Doom. So the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty is now Avengers Doomsday, and Avengers 5 is going to be Avengers Secret War. Okay, we don't know if any of these characters are going to be there, or any of these characters are going to be there, and nor does Marvel. They haven't written it yet. So what the hell? Let's stick with Mr. Downey. While we always like to have a pretty woman to look at while we're drawing, don't we? Irving, camera 1. I'm going to have you zoom in here, and I'm sorry, people that on the other backup, but I can't zoom you in. And I'm going to have to do something even more nasty. I got to turn this light on. So everyone, you can shield your eyes in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's a whiteout, isn't it? All right. Now maybe we can see what we're drawing here. Let me go back to the old sketchbook because I can show you what we got to draw here. In the back pages of this old sketchbook, I actually had drawings of the apartment layout somewhere. Is it this one? No, oh, there we go. So, let's zoom this over here. We're looking to draw that laundry machine with a shelf next to it. I figure we'll put the ironing board in front of it, and then the table that Dino is tossing stuff on next to it. I probably don't need to leave a book open to this page. It's pretty elemental what it looks like. Well, let's get a ruler. And now we're going to do 1 point perspective somewhere around a little bit higher than center. And well, I guess we'll make a floor about at that level. The edge of the washing machine should come up there. It's a stackable unit. What do you think? That feels good about right there. So, what's great about rolling ruler is these rubber wheels allow you to have perfectly parallel lines. Now again, I'm just doing this by feel. Actually, I'm going to measure using the ruler. Since the ruler is see-through, I'll bring it up to the metal bottom, and that will tell me that I've got both washer and dryer the same size. And do I need to bisect for center? Yeah, let's do that. If you match corner to corner, bisect these squares, you can find the center of the square. And that will help me lay out the washer and dryer round openings. So we've got to draw the backgrounds first, then try to make the characters fit into the backgrounds to tell the story. So speaking of stories, we're going to wonder, a lot of folks are going to wonder, how the hell is Iron Man playing the villain Doctor Doom? They did a bit in the What If comics where in the Fantastic Four storyline, incredibly, Doctor Doom was college roommate with Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. So Pedro Pascal and Doctor Doom were roommates. Yeah, that's not correct. The dryer's got to have a vent thing on the bottom. Well, in the What If, they said, what if Tony Stark was Victor Von Doom's roommate rather than Reed Richards? And in this one, of course, Tony's like a womanizer, bringing girls back to the dorm room, completely unserious, yet he was still smarter than Dr. Doom and able to do science, quote, quote, better than Doom, who worked so hard at it. Doom mixes science with magic, the storyline being his mother was something of a witch, and they were, they're the gypsy people that he comes from were really treated poorly by the Baron of Latvia, the country they're from. And she dabbled in witchcraft to try to give them some power against the Baron's men. Well, it all goes wrong and mother dies. But anyway, Victor von Doom is picked up by the American military and given a free full scholarship in America, and he gets to study in American university while at the same time he's helping America develop weapons. I guess it's an Operation Paperclip thing. So he goes to college where he actually meets Reed Richards, and in this case he meets Tony Stark. He decides to steal Tony Stark's identity. Anyone see where I put that vanishing point? I think it was right here, wasn't it? Yeah. And he steals Tony Stark's identity and, becomes the evil Iron Man in that particular episode of What If. I do not think that's what they're going to be doing in the new Marvel Universe. Gee, that doesn't look right, does it? Yeah, I don't like that at all. Trying to do the wow, you can't see a thing on the computer, can you? Let me trying to do a ironing board here, and it just doesn't look right. How high is an ironing board? I don't want to go with that height. We'll do it this way. Here's the thing, I've got to get the Bo character behind it so we can see him ironing, and then the table's got to be over here. So he passes it to Dino when he's done. Yeah, this is ugly. Okay, let's put that aside. I'm not sure I'm going to do that just yet. Mr. Downey, if you'd move over there for a moment. I guess we're going on inking after all. You never quite know what you're going to do on part of the comic strip now, do you? Yeah, it's going to be a real pain in the butt trying to ink characters as small as that. Come back to us, Mr. Downey Jr. So, what the hell is he thinking here with these sunglasses? Is he trying to do Robert Evans or Jim Jones? Maybe he has what's that eye disease where you have to wear these heavy sunglasses all the time? He's got glaucoma. So, Mr. Downey is getting about $100 million. A security detail, access to a private jet, and a trailer encampment during the filming, which will include caterers and all other big bells and whistles. I guess Downey's figuring like, he doesn't need this, but hey, might as well have fun with it. It does spark of desperation, doesn't it? Where is my ink bottle? Hey, I didn't expect to ink today. There we go. Oh, hey, we got, at the art store, we got some more of the Speedball Super Black. Yeah, I know I said I was going to get a big pint bottle of it, but I didn't. Let's choose our brushes. I think everyone knows this bit. Hey, Irving, camera one, why don't you pull back a bit so I get a little room here. Yeah, that works. All right, let's choose our brush for today. This one looks a little dirty. This one looks so clean and happy, but it's got a terrible point. This is even a worse point. We only got 4 brushes today because I retired a lot of them. All right, now see how this brush is split, looking ugly? I think we might have to use it because it's got a very fine point, as you might be able to see, which we're really gonna need today's mess. Gotta shake this ink and mix it up. Something I've never done before. Never thought about mixing ink. Ooh. That looks horrible. Boy, we got a challenge today, don't we? That is one ratty looking brush. They're advertising a paintbrush on YouTube, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I could never use this brush. I think it's called a handle because it has like a flattened thin part right up here that helps you hold it better. But whenever they do the lines of the brushes, I'm saying, wow, those are horrible lines. Do they even know? I'm guessing whoever makes the brush, makes the commercial, did anything, actually never uses a brush in real life because the brush did nothing that you want out of a brush. You have to be able to do a fine line with a brush as easy as doing a thick line. Brushes have to transition from fine to thick at your command. I originally started using a brush just so I would not do that much fine work, because once this stuff is shrunk down, all the fine work just disappears. So you've wasted your time. Brush forces you to be a little bit more bold with your lines. 2, 3. Starting to unify. Excuse me. Starting to uniform the number of mustache hairs on Dino. Boy, hiccuping and burping and making all those noises. Terrible. 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 So they're trying to make money again on the Marvel Universe. My advice would be don't just give it up. It's over. You've told all the stories you're going to tell. The utility of the comic book universe used to be that you never killed off your character, because, well, you had to keep this book. You had to publish this book next month. It led to storylines that just went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. You felt you were sitting in a comfortable sandbox. Things never really changed. They more or less reset back to the beginning. More or less like, well, Fido the comic strip, or Garfield, or Peanuts. Charlie Brown never aged. Charlie Brown never died. But they are working in Hollywood's template, where you've got to have drama, you've got to have change. I'm not going to criticize them for that, as I criticize them. But hey, we all should be celebrating winning the battle of the sexes. Yes, go men. I always knew you could do it. course, they need a man like Robert Downey Jr. to bring back the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I understand they wanted to do story arcs, they wanted to show growth, they wanted to show, well, change. But that's not what comic books are. But actually, I said that this comic strip is never changing, but that's actually not the case. Just in this book that I showed you a little while ago, we've got the storyline where we burnt down the old apartment and came up with the new place that they live in now. The main difference is really being the double baseboard. Well, the new couch, lamp. There used to be a big radiator in front of the window. Because Fido was always cold in the winter. It was sort of a callback to myself, my apartment, when I was living on my own. I did not have heating as regularly as I probably should have, so I was always cold in my apartment. I'm not complaining, I liked it cold, but some of the humor came from that. The outline was much too thick. I briefly thought about trying to find the commercial for those brushes so I could play it here on the air and make fun of it live. I even charged up the tablet to do so, but that's too much planning. And why make fun of a poor company trying to sell, of all things, paintbrushes that are not made from the pubic hairs of Himalayan tree squirrels? All right. We're halfway through the first panel of this strip, and I'm already thinking we've got to come up with a title for today's show. Any ideas? Let's see, what have we spoken about? Mostly we've spoken about Robert Downey Jr., I suppose. I can't always go back to Red Letter Media and ask them, why don't you like Chris Gore? Or Kathy Lee Gifford. Yeah. This is this is funny. When I told my wife the story of Miss Gifford breaking her replaced hip, we had the same joke. So I'll have to tell Miss Gifford that the chief colorist did it better. So the chief colorist, currently in her rehab, is able to walk again. She has walked several steps. So we're hoping she'll be home in a matter of a couple of weeks now. That's a certain sign of progress. And then she'll come back to bring color back into this comic strip, which I'm sure you all have missed. So can we call this something along the line of Kathy Lee Gifford? Kathy Lee Gifford. Jeez, I really don't want to put her in the title. But I'm sure no one else out there is talking about her. I can't believe she's 70 years old, though. How old is Frank? Is Frank still alive? I don't even know. We lost track of Frank Gifford after he got caught cheating on her. I think he was in his late 60s when he was cheating on her. I mean, wow. While most men in their late 60s are just discovering the comfortable spot on their on the chair, Frank is out there romancing other women. I think the joke at the time was Kathy just discovered there's no such thing as Tuesday night football. How disconnected I am. I couldn't even tell you if Miss Gifford is still on television. This is like a lot of small detail work. And I'm not even at the challenging panel, which is the next one. Now, for a title, I don't necessarily want to talk about the battle of the sexes because, well, it's not what this strip is about. We just do the whole misogyny thing. It's just as a joke. I can get away with it more now that the wife is not around. Ugh. How the hell am I going to draw Jane like that? The advantage is when this is published, she'll be about that big, maybe smaller. Now you won't notice how horribly I drew her. And there's this guy way back in the seats here. Let's see, I needed to set up this establishing shot to show that they're in the bar and where they're seated, where everyone is seated. I could do all this with a rapidograph pen. Oh well. Let's make her hair in the background darker so Bo actually pops better. Alright, here's the first time we've drawn the crazy cat lady without a bunch of cats hanging all over. And Dino's hanging around with her because, well, he's just a horny guy. He's looking for anything he can get. But I assure you, Crazy Cat Lady is not interested in any relationship with a human. They never are. Okay, Kathy, I can't stand looking at you. Back to Robert Downey Jr. Of course, I'm hoping for the best with Avengers Doomsday, but it's kind of one of those situations where, wow, they came up with the title before they have a script. Even worse. They came up with the title, they came up with the actors, they came up with the villain, but they don't have a script. I guess that's how films are made these days. I'm not going to be shocked if the quality isn't there. Where does the bar go? Oh, hey, I meant to talk about this last week. Remember we were talking about the tank that India has come up with. Now they don't have to worry about buying the crappy Russian products anymore, and I sort of went off into a jag making fun of the Russians. So the Russians have been shut off from banks all over the Western world, and they've been trying to find ways to spend their money. The Chinese will now only pay in their denominations, and the Indians will only pay in rupees, whatever it is the Indians use. So Russia needs to turn those currencies into real money, and they need to buy what they need to buy with their rubles. And the best way to do that is with international banks. So it must be incredibly easy to either set up a bank in China or buy an existing small bank. But con men in China are purchasing banks or starting banks and offering to do business with Russia. And Russia happily goes down there and they deposit the millions of dollars. And then when they go to use it, the people have disappeared. I guess this has happened more than once. And these are like big government companies. These are companies that will send international assassins around the world to find you. F-16s have arrived in Ukraine. I know they're just waiting for the first news story of the first F-16 to be shot down, and and it'll be similar to the story of the first Challenger tank that get knocked out, or the first Abrams Bradley. It happens. I mean, Ukrainians are like one step away from being Russians themselves. I was expecting to get into more trouble with my joke last week that you take all the old Polish jokes and add a little bit more vodka and corruption, and now they're Russian jokes. And how the Polish are now the smartest people in Europe because, they're building a kick-ass military. One of the earliest Polish jokes I told as a kid is, did you hear that the Polish government has purchased 100,000 septic tanks from the American government? Yeah, as soon as they learn how to drive them, they're going to invade Russia. Childhood joke. But now the Polish people are the smartest ones in Europe. Go Poland. My aunt is from Poland. No blood relation, but they try to visit every few years. The last time they tried to visit, COVID stopped them. But they've been telling me stories for years now. Oh, Poland's going to be a big country someday. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure thing, Auntie. Uh-huh. Guess I was wrong. Look at us talking about Poland and Russia with poor Robert Downey Jr. on the table. But apparently Dr. Doom is supposedly from Latvia, which is one of the Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are one of the three republics that broke away from the Soviet Union in the 90s. And Russia has always held a contempt for them for that reason. I wonder if Robert Downey Jr. is going to be from Latvia. Will he try to pull off the accent? Yeah, I can't see how this character is going to work. Good luck, Mr. Downey. You're a fine actor. I've enjoyed you in many films, Sherlock Holmes, and you played a great Charlie Chaplin, I believe, and we will always enjoy Tony Stark. Not sure if you were really acting all that much there, and you were acting like a smarter individual than you really were. That's it, okay. Good that Dino's shirt is black, because then you can just outline the whatever this is that Felicia's throwing at him better. I'm sure that'll be one of the questions the chief colorist asks when she returns. What's Felicia throwing at him? Milk, I guess. I don't know what a cat's drink. Yeah, that's actually another cultural thing. It's kind of funny. Cats don't drink milk or cream. Yeah, they're generally lactose intolerant. but I grew up with Tom and Jerry, and Tom always liked to have a nice big bowl of cream. So basically, all I know about cats are what I saw in Tom and Jerry cartoons. Oh, my grandmother owned a cat. Alright, let's see if we can get the last panel in here. How are we on cameras? Anything still running here? Well, it claims it's still running. We're still centered, sort of. Come with me, Mr. Downey. No. We do still have to come up with the title. Drawing with Victor Von Doom. Never trust anybody who isn't kind to animals. I never trust. I don't trust this is going to be a good film. I don't trust. Yeah, can we do? Well, maybe. Well, I have drawn the conclusion that the battle of the sexes is over. We're the cartoon basically. Have you met these two? Never. Drawing conclusions? I don't know. That's kind of hacky. We're going to pull back that Olympic star. Well, we already proclaimed Rebel Moon not worth your time. Here is the Algerian boxer. You know, I was never happier in the world to see she's at least going to win the bronze. To see an Olympic athlete make, well, not be an American and cause such outrage amongst the world. I'm so happy this isn't an American. If anyone had asked me, or told me the situation, and made me bet what country this person was from, I would never have picked Algeria. This is not the sort of crap that goes on in countries like Algeria. They're not exactly known for their diversity, equity, and inclusion in Algeria. But I guess it's good to see this is just not America. Amongst the jokes online is the Olympic gold medal for wife beating. Yeah. And I'm still treasuring the picture of Mike Tyson in a wig. America's going to bring their own diverse Olympic boxing. Challenger. And I think it's important to note here that the milk is pooling up underneath the raised lip of the bar. Important detail there. Well, Charles, rather than talking about Olympic boxes, why can't you just shut up and draw a goddamn comic strip? You know, I think I can do that. I can shut up. And there, folks, is our title. Shut up and draw the damn comic strip. We don't want to hear your conclusions about the battle of the sexes won by the transsexuals. Good job, fellas. Knew we could do it. We don't want to hear what you have to say about Rebel Moon. Just draw a comic strip. I'm sure the Avengers Doomsday is going to be spectacular. Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal, First Steps. It's going to be a masterpiece, especially because they have this woman playing the Silver Surfer and not that woman, or not just a guy. We don't want to hear what you have to say about Disney. And God forbid, don't ever say anything bad about Red Letter Media again, you cartoonist. Shut up and draw. There we go. We got a title. Oh. And Irving completely missed it. Yeah, it's up there. Shut up and draw. Thank you for joining us for Fido Live number 108. I hope you'll join us for Fido Live 109, where I may or may not shut up and draw.